Sula has never seen Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds or heard any of his music. This was her first time. She's heard of the band, but she's never seen him or heard the music of the band. And it was terrific to just imagine how it felt like. Imagine what it would have felt for Sula to see this band for the first time and hear their music on film. Imagine being in a theater that's almost like a church. It's like an old opera theater that has an organ at the lip of the stage for the occasional silent film organ player, and on the ceiling were projected clouds and a mural of stars painted and with lights on the ceiling.
When the movie was finished, when the film was finished, and we walked out, Sula was really taken with his face. She loved his face. She's an artist, so she really admired his face and the way the camera captured something in him. The bags under his eyes, the wrinkles, the caverns of his cheeks. The thing that we both agreed on was the manner in which the filmmakers gave us a glimpse of his family, his wife, the unit that they formed was, as presented by the filmmakers, intimate and beautiful, and to see how they were connected still, even though that they were both obviously very independent artists with their own passions and their own way of looking at things. It was an enigmatic engine of anguish that came from this film that I will not go into, but to cover this anguish in the way this film did, and having Nick Cave's music serve as a sort of emotional pathway for everyone involved to sort of find an anchor to cover anguish in a way that was clearly disorienting, even for, and I quote, the elasticity of time. And as we were watching this film, I was struck by how uncommercial it was. It was clearly meant to investigate, to experience it on this night with a very enraptured audience in this setting, in an old movie theater, to have the sound of the music. And there were moments in the film where Nick Cave would be narrating omnipotently, as if we were entering his head space, and his voice, engineered, would be floating literally in 3 dimensions behind us, next to us. The sound of the background noise of people in the recording space floating, even though for the majority of it was recorded inside a studio space with the wires and the speakers and the synth keyboards and pedals on the ground all over. It became a real infinite space. It was as if people, even though they were standing 10 feet apart, were planets revolving around each other. Beautifully crisp, black and white texture of the film. It was like watching a dark star, a black hole, a vortex being created through the sounds of the songs.